Hey guys, my name is Dina Marie Rodriguez, and I am a full-time hand lettering artist, illustrator, teacher, and a bunch of other things actually, living in Portland, Oregon. And this video ended up changing quite a bit, mostly because I realized what my core values are based on a situation that happened this past week that made me have to create a decision that I needed to refund and cancel a project that was over $3,000. My first core value is to create work that I'm so passionate about that I would actually do it for free. Now, this is something that I used to tell myself a lot in the beginning of my illustration career, because a lot of the times you don't really get that many opportunities as a budding new artist. And so you would do a lot of things in order to have things just in your portfolio, just to say that you did them for another person, to show that you can. This can look like design contest, Craigslist ads, been there, I feel your pain. This also can be doing things like favors for friends and family. But although those things are all great experience, I feel like even as you get older and more experienced and you move up the industrial ladder, those core values should still stick with you. So even when you've been doing this for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you should always try to keep that same kind of thing in perspective, because we need to be able to protect our craft and our passion, because we can lose it. So I make sure that every single project I work on, I'm thoroughly passionate about, because the kind of work that you put in your portfolio, you're only going to get more of it. So if I'm doing a project that I'm not really enjoying just so I can pay my bills, it's going to show in the final product, right? And when I put that in my portfolio, it's not going to be that good, and it's probably going to be a project or a subject matter or a particular industry or client that I didn't really enjoy working with, and I'm only going to attract more of those kinds of clients. My next core value is to only make design decisions that will help my client. Now, helping is kind of a broad term, so this can look like literal sales. Like, I can boost sales and improve my client's bottom line. This can also be creating more brand awareness with a campaign, or creating a new brand in order for people to easily recognize that brand, or creating an illustration to boost engagement, whether those are social media numbers or clicks or just general traffic to your website. We always have to keep in mind that every single design decision I make is for your audience and might not always be for the client, and that's how things should be done. Because I'm never going to make your logo blue because it's your favorite color. I'm going to use blue if it makes sense for a color that's going to attract your specific audience. Now, this last one is pretty broad, but I think it really elegantly kind of puts my most important core value on the plate, and that is only make work that will have a positive impact for others. Now, this is a pretty big one, and it's kind of hard because when people think impact, they think maybe I'll do something and go political, or maybe I'll only work for nonprofits. But you don't have to cure cancer in order to make an impact. Sometimes just making someone feel good or laugh is a good enough impact for them, or even just to better beautify a restaurant or to make something look cooler. So let's get into this. Why am I talking about all of these core values? Because I think it's something that people don't talk about in the beginning of your illustration career. When you first get started, you're told to take every single job that comes your way because it's not going to happen a lot. You're building up your audience. Not a lot of people know about you yet, and it might seem like your chances of success are limited. I'm here to tell you that that's total fucking bullshit. So I think we make this error a lot. We get really excited about our illustration and we try to sell it as quickly as possible, because that's the dream, right? Is to make money from our art. So doing that sooner equals good. No, sometimes if you do something before you're ready for it, it can actually hurt you. And especially if you decide to take that freelance leap a little before you're actually ready. Sometimes that can be you compromising your values and working with clients that honestly don't respect you just so you can pay your bills. So this means bad news for a lot of people. That dream that you're trying to reach is gonna be harder than you think. And you're probably gonna have to get a day job to pay your bills that probably sucks in order to only take on projects that you actually believe in. Now, I know this is hard, working at the mall or at Starbucks, or sometimes just working as a designer in a production studio can seem like the worst thing ever, especially when you have all these really big dreams of making it as an illustrator. But please, let that fuel you. Do not live in a scarcity mindset. Nothing will ruin your passion faster than working on projects that you don't believe in. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again because it's just so important. So I was supposed to create a chalk installation, and you maybe remember from the last video that I said I was actually going to make this vlog all about how to create your own chalk installation. Well, that project ended up getting canceled, and it's really just because of one word. So let's go through my core values and why I decided to decline this project. Number one, right? Create work that you're so passionate about that you would do it for free. So this seemed like a dream project. I was going to be drawing flowers and plants mixed with like really cool Art Nouveau vintage typography choices on this really big chalk piece. And chalk just looks fucking sick. And this perfume boutique that I was working for was just so beautiful. I love the client. She had so much faith in me. She was so excited to work together. It seemed like a dream, right? So we started this project. We've been talking about this project for months. So I go ahead, I create the two concepts, and as I'm putting in the layout, I realize that there's a word that makes me very uncomfortable. The word that she used in her chalkboard was Oriental. Now, this is a term that I've always known as a racist slur, especially when it's towards a person. Now, the way that she was using it was actually because it was an industry standard word to actually describe the perfume fragrance families. There was a lot of back and forth on this topic. I can tell that both of us were shooken by the fact that I disagreed with this word in the first place. She heard my opinion, I heard hers. There were links that were exchanged, and we ended up having to cancel the project just because I refused to move forward. And I want to tell you why based on my core values. This brought up a lot of tension to the surface for me, just because this project really did seem totally ideal. And I couldn't help think, am I really going to turn down $3,000 because of one word? I personally, for the record, think the term Oriental is racist, even when it's referring to a thing and not a person. Regardless of you thinking that the word Oriental is racist or not, someone out there probably would. Now, I live in Portland, Oregon, right? Portland is considered a very liberal city and has often been referred to as the PC capital of the world. So if I use this word, it would most likely reflect badly on her business, and I never want to be a part of that. Finally, I only want to make work that has a positive impact for other people. Now, let's face it, whatever your stance on this particular issue, the word would most likely offend people. It could hurt them, and it would just be another reminder of how racist and awful the world we currently live in is, even if that still surprises a few of us. With all that said, this goes against my core value because art is supposed to remind us of our humanity. It makes us rethink things and better understand ourselves and the people around us, and it should help us love each other, not hurt each other. Now, when I refunded her money, I felt pretty fucking defeated. I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because I wish I had caught the word sooner. I wish I could have won the argument. I wish we could have worked together. I wish this project could have been real because I was really excited about it. But then after a few minutes, the shame kind of washed away and I felt this huge relief come my way. And I started to literally dance. I danced and danced and danced. I listened to all my favorite songs. I even listened to this playlist that I call the Women of Illustration playlist, which is my power playlist, that I sing really loud and I skip and I twirl. And I felt good about my decision. My integrity is not worth the dollar amount, and neither should yours be. So with this story said and all the things that I've shared with you, what are some of your core values? How can you guys combine all of your morals, your talent, and your unique voice in order to create just 3 values. I would love to hear about them in the comments below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. My next video will probably be coming around soon, and I'll be sharing with a bunch of projects that I'm currently working on, and I get to show you some of my students' final projects, especially the students that are graduating after my class. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate all of the love. Thank you guys so much. Bye.